Hulk vs. Mangog is a matchup that fans have been asking me to talk about, so let's see who would win between these two powerhouses. Mangog is the physical manifestation of the hatred of a billion beings from a race that was slaughtered by Odin. In the Mighty Thor number 154, which was written by Stan Lee, it was revealed that Mangog was imprisoned deep beneath Asgard and was freed by Ulik the Troll. The enraged Mangog declared that his goal was to destroy Odin, who crushed the invasion of his race. Mangog eventually confronted Thor and told him that he would kill him for what Odin did to his people. Thor defended Odin and tried to fight back, striking the monster with Mjolnir, but Mangog did not even budge and tossed Thor away, forcing him to admit that he never faced a powerful foe like him before. Thor, however, did not back off and summoned the wind and the storm, creating a cyclone which struck Mangog, but still wasn't enough to stop the rage and the power of a billion beings. Thor tried everything within his capacity to stop the monster, but that was all in vain, until All-Father Odin stepped in, then broke the spell and freed Mangog's people, causing the monster to fade away. In the Mighty Thor Volume 2 number 701 by Jason Aaron, Mangog appeared in the old Asgard and encountered Volstagg, who had lifted Mjolnir of a dead world to become the War Thor. Volstagg hurled his hammer at Mangog, but the monster just sent it back with a punch. Mangog recognized Volstagg as one of the Asgardian gods and pounded on him, but the brave warrior did not give up and fought back, remarking that he was charged with the rage of an entire dead universe. Volstagg managed to force his hammer into the monster's maw, then summoned a huge bolt of lightning which struck Mangog, who shockingly enough managed to absorb it, then released it on Volstagg before pounding on him again, beating him to within an inch of his life. Although severely beaten, Volstagg refused to give up and tried to grab his hammer again, but Mangog grabbed Volstagg's hand holding the hammer and crushed it between his hands, breaking Volstagg's arm in the process, before knocking him away with a powerful punch. Mangog demanded to know the place of the Asgardians, but Volstagg refused to reveal their location, and that was when Malekith appeared from nowhere and told Mangog that they were all in Asgardia, including All-Father Odin. Malekith said that Asgardia was a big golden city floating near Saturn and promised not to get in Mangog's way, who took off seeking the golden city, leaving the beaten Volstagg behind, where Malekith dropped a knife on his hand, causing him to float away in space. Mangog then arrived in Asgardia and unleashed his rage, destroying everything in his path. The monster scattered the Asgardian warriors before shattering the Rainbow Bridge with a punch. All-Mother Freya then decided to use the destroyer's armor to stop Mangog, although Kull warned her that the armor's power would be too much for one god to control. The destroyer unleashed his beams on Mangog, but that wasn't enough to stop him. Mangog said that he could see the weakness inside the destroyer, and that the goddess who was controlling it was weak and recovering from a great illness. Mangog then grabbed the magical armor and ripped it apart, leaving Freya in horrible pain. Mangog then confronted the unworthy Thor and Odin and beat them both to within an inch of their lives, and that was when Jane Foster as Thor interfered and engaged the monster in a death battle. Jane knocked Mangog away, then used the hammer to blast a golden statue of Odin and melt it on the monster, remarking that although she fought the destroyer, the War Thor, and even Odin himself, she never felt such power and rage before. Mangog attacked Jane again and told her that she was fighting for the gods, although she hated them, and that they deserved everything he brought to them. Crushing her, the monster did not understand why Jane would sacrifice herself and die for the gods. Enraged, Jane broke free and punched Mangog, telling him that she fought for love and not hate, before lifting him and tossing him into the sun. Mangog was damaged, but did not die, and attacked Jane again, vowing to kill her this time. Jane fought back and punched the monster, to be joined by Thor shortly after, who managed to cut the monster's tail with his axe and freed Jane from its grip, but all that wasn't enough to stop Mangog, who still overpowered them both. Jane then managed to chain Mangog Mangog with unbreakable chains, used to bind Fenris until the day of Ragnarok, then hurled Mjolnir with the tied Mangog into the sun, this time ending his threat once and for all. Hulk, on the other hand, has fought Thor on many occasions, and has always proven a worthy rival, as stated by Thor himself. In the Mighty Thor number 385, which was written by Stan Lee, Hulk fought Thor without Mjolnir, and clearly proved that he was physically the stronger. The raging Hulk pounded on Thor, who was amazed by the Hulk's limitless strength, but Hulk eventually lost interest in fighting Thor, and leapt away, leaving him bleeding and in bruises. In the Incredible Hulk number 440 by Peter David, Thor tapped into the warrior madness phase and decided to fight the Hulk, who was labeled as a global threat to humanity that had to be eliminated. Thor said that he would stop the Hulk, but the price might be a terrible one. Thor explained that in the past he restrained himself in battling the Hulk for fear of himself losing control, but he won't be holding back this time. Thor fought the Hulk in a death battle and struck him with enough electricity to light up 100 broadways as stated by Betty, and was determined to kill him, but he simply failed. In the end, Matt Talbot, who had enough watching the battle and seeing both Hulk and Thor as threats to the world, ordered to drop an atomic bomb on them both. Hulk knew that Thor was under the warrior madness state and spotted the bomb falling down upon them. Hulk did not want to see Thor getting killed by the bomb, so he knocked him away with great force, cause in the end, words do not matter, only power does, only strength, just as the bomb was dropped on Hulk and exploded. The Incredible Hulk annual, published in 2001, witnessed another interesting fight between Hulk and Thor, but this time Hulk was depowered and wasn't as durable as he was in Peter David's fight, as Thor was proven superior, easily knocking Hulk out with a bolt of lightning. In the final fight though, Hulk pounded on Thor and severely beat him, but Thor wasn't finished and rose again, admitting that Hulk might be even stronger than him, and that he possessed more strength than any other being. In the Avengers number 686, the Immortal Hulk, who was resurrected by the Elder known as the Challenger, went on rampage and smashed his way into the Avengers auxiliary base, seeking the last Paramoid, as tasked by the Challenger. Hulk proved unstoppable and defeated many superheroes, including the Vision and Wonder Man, before confronting both Hercules and Thor, who joined their powers and attacked him, but Hulk knocked them both away. Rogue then tried to subdue the Hulk by getting into his mind, only to find Banner helpless and not in control. Banner told Rogue to run away, as this Hulk can't be stopped and can't die, but Hulk just knocked her away, only to be interrupted by Hercules and Thor again, but he overpowered them both and tossed them away. In the Immortal Hulk run number 7 by Al Ewing, Hulk proved powerful enough to fracture Thor's skull with one single punch, forcing the god to admit that Hulk became stronger than ever before, and that he became nearly as strong as a god or a devil. In book number 46, Hulk fought Thor again, this time as King Thor, in the Avengers' attempts to bring him in. Thor struck Hulk with the hammer and pounded on him, admitting that he was defeated the first time he fought the Hulk, who humbled a god, but this time Hulk was facing a king of gods. Thor struck Hulk with more lightning, but that wasn't enough to stop the immortal monster, who knocked Thor out of the diner with one single punch, only to find out that the Avengers were all assembled to fight him. In the Avengers No Road Home number 5 by Al Ewing, Hulk hunted down Hypnos, the god of sleep, and the first spawn of Nyx, the Olympian goddess of the night, who sent Hypnos to invade Nightmare's realm. Hulk easily defeated the god and snapped his neck, proving that Thor was right when he said that Hulk might be as strong as a god or a devil. It's true that Hulk never smashed Thor's hammer the way Mangog did to Volstagg, but in Hulk Let the Battle Begin by Jesse Blaze Snyder, Hulk grabbed Thor's hand with the hammer and smashed him with it. Hulk destroyed the Wrecking Crew in an epic battle before fighting Thor, who pounded on Hulk and made him bleed, but Hulk refused to yield, repeating that he was the strongest one there is, before grabbing Thor's hand and striking him with the hammer until he knocked him out cold and left him bleeding. In an interview with the popular American website News-Erama, writer Jesse Snyder stated that Hulk never touched Mjolnir in this fight, but he just grabbed Thor's hand and managed to hold the hammer through Thor. And to answer who the stronger is between the two, Jesse said that Hulk and Thor are evenly matched, but the angrier Hulk gets, the stronger he gets, which is why Hulk can ultimately beat anyone, cause unless you prevent him from getting upset, he's gonna keep getting angry until he overpowers you. In Banner of War run by Donny Cates, the Starship Hulk fought King Thor in an epic battle, where Thor at one point struck Hulk with a bolt of lightning, before placing the hammer on his back to prevent him from moving. Knowing that he could not break Odin's enchantment and move the hammer, Hulk just pushed his body against Mjolnir, which ripped a hole in his body, but that wasn't enough to stop the Hulk, who stood up and told Thor to pick up his hammer. Hulk then smashed Thor down with great force and pinned him, and that was when Odin, who was inhabiting the hammer, told Thor to get up, but Thor simply could not, forcing Odin to help his son, summoning a huge bolt of lightning which struck Hulk and freed Thor from his grip. Later on, and when Tony Stark in his celestial armor joined Thor, he blasted the Hulk, trying to drain him of his gamma radiation, but Hulk did not go down as expected. Banner then explained that Hulk did not understand that he wasn't in the subconscious engine room anymore, and that both Tony and Thor were real, and that he could kill them both. MANGOG biting the destroyer's armor and ripping its head off is an insane feat of strength that Hulk has never accomplished in his entire history. In The Incredible Hulk number 461 by Peter David, Hulk fought the destroyer armor controlled by the Maestro spirit. Hulk engaged the destroyer, who easily overpowered him and knocked him away, but Hulk retaliated and smashed the armor down, but that wasn't enough to finish it, as it put Hulk in a bear hug and started breaking his ribs, but Hulk managed to toss the destroyer away. The battle continued for a few minutes, with Hulk's confidence and strength growing with his anger, as Peter David stated, but that wasn't enough to stop the destroyer, who blasted the Hulk and wounded him before severely pounding on him. Hulk then realized that the destroyer was inhabited by the Maestro spirit, and when the destroyer suddenly touched the Hulk's blood, Hulk felt a connection like a circuit being completed, allowing him to send his subconscious into the destroyer. Hulk and Maestro fought inside the armor, proving that their spirits were equally matched. Hulk then charged up the destroyer's disintegrator, then shut the visor, turning the energy inward and causing the destroyer to explode. Although the destroyer in his fight with Hulk was inhabited by the powerful Maestro and not the weak Mother Freya, who was recovering from a great illness, I still do not see Hulk ripping the destroyer with his bare hands or by biting its head off as MANGOG did. As a supervillain, writers granted MANGOG insane powers and abilities, and enabled him to accomplish insane feats that they would never allow Hulk to have or accomplish, or he would become out of everyone's league, and no plot or story would be able to frame him. A well-written fight between these two could go either way, and the writer could easily lean towards either of them, according to the plot's needs. However, and based on their feats and fights with Thor, I can see MANGOG defeating a base level Hulk. The Immortal Hulk, the Starship Hulk, and the World Breaker may still have a better chance taken on MANGOG, considering their insane level of power and feats, as both the Immortal and the Starship Hulks fought King Thor and easily matched him. It all depends on the writer, and honestly, no one should blame him if he chose MANGOG over the Hulk, cause the monster is formidable and was originally created to be superior to Thor in every single aspect. Hope you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. Thanks for watching and have a nice one.